Okay, Aurora, how are you doing today?
Fine.
Doing okay? I'm glad to see you. How's your week been going?
Good.
Pretty good? And your classes, your grades? What can you tell me about that?
Math. I think I'm only feeling that.
Only your math.
Yeah.
You're doing better in your reading and you're doing okay with your science.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Okay, that sounds good. Okay. What we're going to do today is we're going to review a little bit of what we did at our last session and see if we can come up with some goals for this session. Okay? Because I know that you had several improvements that you wanted to do, right? So we're going to work on that. Let's get started with your confidentiality statement. Okay? Just to let you know that whatever we say in session stays between us. It's not repeated to your teachers or to your parents. The only 3 reasons that I would talk about or repeat whatever we've said is if you tell me you're going to hurt yourself or you're going to do something that may cause you harm, that you're going to hurt someone else, or that you tell me that you're being abused. Okay, understood that? Yeah? Okay. Last time what we did is we created heart mapping. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And we went ahead and focused on everything that's important to you. People that are important to you, places that you like, things that you like, and things that you like to do. And your brother, your mom, your sister, and your friend Carol are very important to you. Okay, one thing that I liked about this was that it allowed me to get to know you a little bit better. Now I know that you like anything that has to do with coloring or paints or stickers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. That was nice to know and get to know you on that level. And today we've got a little bit more activities to get to know you even a little bit better and see how we're going to make those changes that you recognize that we need to do to help you in class. And to help that self-esteem, knowing that you're confident. Okay? All right. On your feelings and faces. Last time you said that you were confident, and that one was surprising to me. Wasn't expecting that one, but I was glad that you told me that you were confident that I could help you, and that you felt comfortable with me. Okay? How are you feeling today? You said proud. And proud because
I know that I'm here because I believe in you.
Okay.
And I need help.
Okay. And you're proud because of what have you done, excuse me, that makes you proud this week?
Get my error points.
You reached your error points?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this the first time that you've reached them?
Yes.
How many points were you required by your teacher?
23.
That's a lot of books. That's a lot of books. So you got your points today, as of today.
Mm-hmm.
Did your teacher find out?
Yes.
What did she have to say about that?
That she was proud of me.
So that put a smile on your face. You're even saying it and you're smiling, right? That's good. So it's something that's achievable. You know, we're in the 2nd semester. You haven't done it, and this is the first time, so that's something to be proud of. Definitely. Okay, I know that you said that you wanted to make some changes. So what we're going to work on today is something called an I Can Set Goals to Win. And we're going to try and think of things that you'd like to change, make changes, so you can do better in class, right? We don't want you getting in trouble. We don't want you being sent to the office. And we want you to feel confident, right? We want you to feel confident about yourself. So we're going to set maybe 3 or 4, get you to thinking about that, and then see what we can do to try and accomplish those. Okay? One day at a time. So the first one that you're writing down here is it's reading pass to 6th grade. Okay. How can we do that? How can you assure yourself that you're going to pass to 6th grade?
By start paying attention.
Okay. What were you doing before?
I was paying attention to the people around me.
Okay.
And they were laughing, making funny faces, and not paying attention to the teacher.
Did you get a consequence because of that?
Yes.
Okay. Aurora, can I ask you, when things like that happen, Is the attention call to everybody, or was it just to you?
I feel like it's just to me.
How come?
Because she's only looking at me.
Okay. But she's telling you to stop whatever it was that you were doing, talking or laughing or not paying attention. Okay, so that's good. You recognize that you need to stop doing that, and it's for your own good, right? If you don't pay attention, you're not going to be learning whatever your teachers are trying to teach you, right? So start paying attention would be one. Awesome. What else could you do to help you?
To ask questions if I don't get what they're talking about.
Okay. Were you asking questions before?
No,
How come?
because I was shy.
Okay. What do you think is going to happen if you ask?
People will laugh at me.
The other students?
Yeah.
Okay. Has this happened to you before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you've told the teacher about this? You haven't. You keep it to yourself? All right. Can I ask you why you didn't address it with your teacher?
Because she will say it's over already and didn't do anything about it.
Okay. So let me try and explain what you're telling me. So whenever kids would tease you if you asked a question about something that was being taught in class, if they laughed or teased you in some way, you feel like your teacher's not going to, she's going to ignore you.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what it is. Okay. So do you think that if you do address something with her, that she feels it's important? No. Okay. So you kind of lose trust in that, right? And you don't want to do it again? Okay. All right. So paying attention, definitely not listening to whatever's around you. Anything else? Go ahead and write it down. You can ask questions. Write it down on here. And we can put one more thing. Okay?
Believe in the teachers.
Okay. All right. You want to go ahead and write that down? Can you explain that to me?
Because so I could ask questions and so people cannot laugh at me.
Okay. So you want to get, what you're saying is you want to get to a point where you can believe your teachers are going to be there for you. And if you tell them or address something to them, they're going to listen to whatever it is you're saying. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Those are all good. So these are definitely things that we can start working on, right? So let's go to the second one. What other thing would you like to focus on? You want to pass to 6th grade. What else would you like to see happening while you're in school?
Kids were not bullied.
Okay. What about you? The changes that you were trying to see if we could make. You said something to the point that your homework. You're doing your homework, but the one that you always tend to leave behind would be reading. So would that be maybe something to consider? Yes? Okay. So we could put it, how could we word it?
Read.
Okay. And you had mentioned, I believe you had said she's asking you to read about 20 minutes every afternoon? Okay. I know that one is something that you left to the end. Is it because you don't enjoy it very much?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Okay. But that's one of the subjects that you know that you need a little bit of help on, right? Okay. All right. So definitely do your homework. Maybe we can, how do you think we can help you with that, Aurora?
By doing it first.
Doing it first. I like that. Do you know something? I was reading on one of the skills is like whenever you have homework on studying skills, whenever you have homework, try and do the one that's more difficult first and you leave the easiest one for last. Because that's the one you tend to like, what if I don't get to it? and then you get busy doing something else, and then you don't end up doing it. And it's something that's really easy. It's going to take you 20 minutes, and that's about it. When you read, let me ask you, do you read by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You don't read to your mom or to your brother? You don't?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think it would help if you would read to your mom?
I think so.
Okay. When you get home, has your mom already cooked for you?
No.
She
I
hasn't.
help her.
You help her. Okay. Maybe you can read. You help your mommy while you're cooking or while you all are cooking. And then once you finished helping her, whatever your part of it is, maybe you can read to her, right? While she's cooking. That way she can listen to you. What do you think of that?
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea. Okay. So I like the first one that you mentioned. Do the reading first. So you want to go ahead and write that one? So your fluency and your reading is going to be first in your homework. What did you think about reading to your mom?
I will get that it will help on my fluency.
You think it would? It would be something that'd be helpful. You have an audience, right? Kind of like when your teacher might ask you to read here. Your mom's listening to whatever it is you're saying, right? Anything else that you want to add to it? No? Okay. We said you want to pass to 6th grade. You want to get better at your reading. Okay. Any other thing that you want to focus on? I know that you had mentioned last time behavior. Maybe not answering or answering to some of your teachers. Would that be a goal? What happens to you when you do things like that? If you answer back to the teacher or you don't answer, what happens in class?
She will keep on asking me and asking me and asking me questions over and over again.
Okay, and how does that end?
Like she doesn't care.
Okay. Does she become upset?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you end up having a not good moment, right? Whenever you're learning something new. So what would you care to focus on? Would be your attitude in class?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. Go ahead and put attitude. And how can we make that attitude into a more positive one?
By just dealing with it, going with it, like when she asks a question, answer back. Don't make faces like I don't want to answer it, but just answer it.
Okay. So we could do that. You could do that by maybe being conscious about what you're doing before you answer, and then think, and you can think to yourself, I can control it, and just answer and try to not get in trouble, not make faces at your teacher, right? Okay, so maybe we can put on here, think before you act, right? And it's going to take some time, Aurora, right? But it can be done. This is not from day to night, and it's going to change. We're going to take it little by little. Anything else? What are you thinking when you're doing that? Can you tell me? What's going through your mind?
I did something.
Okay. All right. Because of how she looks at you? Okay. All right. So definitely think before you do it, and try to be conscious of your facial expressions, right, to her a little bit. Okay. And one more, Aurora. Let's try and see if we can do one more goal. Anything else that you're seeing or experiencing in the classroom that you say, I'd like to change this because it's bringing me problems or I'm having difficulty with?
Mm-hmm.
You already touched the topic of better study skills, doing your reading first, and trying to think before you make faces at your teacher so you won't get in trouble and have any consequences, right? Okay. What about the last one? What do you think would be
Do what the teacher tells me to do.
do what the teacher tells you to do?
And
Okay.
don't be defiant.
Okay. That would go along a little bit with attitude, wouldn't you think? How are you defiant?
Because when we were doing something in the classroom, I was stretching, and then Miss Barbara took us to put our hands together like if we were praying.
Okay.
And I was stretching, and then when she turned over, I put it like really fast down and do it like that. But then she thought I was doing something else bad and being defiant.
Okay. But you didn't. You were just stretching.
Yeah.
Okay. But she took it as she was thinking you were doing something else. Okay. All right. I guess we could put it on this one, on the one for attitude, but it wasn't really, it doesn't appear to be that it was because of that. She might have thought, she thought about it. It sounds like she thought that that's what you were doing, right? So we can put it on here.
Defiant?
Not being defiant. Do you know how to spell that? D-E-F-I-A-N-T. So again, we need to be really conscious about what she's asking you to do, right? Okay. Last one. I know that our last session, I know it's hard to think about it, but I know that last session you were kind of down about maybe comments made in the class, or maybe not wanting to really try very much at first because you didn't feel that you could really do it. But you now realize that you can make changes, right? So would it be maybe, and let me know if this is something that you would be interested in putting on there. I know that you touched the topic of being confident in your abilities, knowing that you can do it if you try, right? When you told me your grade from your benchmark and you were really down about it, and then I told you it's something that you can work on. You just need that little help to get you through to a passing grade, and you're like, oh, you kind of like, yes, it's not that bad, I can do it. So maybe like self-esteem with you.
I got a 60 on the reading, and then we need a 56 to pass, so I passed.
So you did. So you were thinking, oh, I got a bad grade, and then you realized it was okay. When did you learn that?
When Miss Barba sat us, because she puts the lowest grade to the highest, and then a girl got a 56, and then she told her, hey, you barely passed it by the skin of your teeth.
So now you realize that you did do well for that standard, right? Okay. But it's always good to try your best, right? So good. You do know that. So maybe self-esteem, something like self-esteem, right? And I've seen you smiling a little bit more in the hallway, so we're working on that, right? Another thing that you had mentioned to me last time is that you have a particular poster that you have in class that has to do with a lot of positive little comments, right? Like believing yourself and things like that, right? You have that one in your bedroom, right? You have it in a place that you can see it every day? Yes? Okay, so maybe things like that. Sometimes when we're not feeling that confident, it helps to remind us a little bit, Aurora, when we look at things like that. And maybe we can work on looking some up, and that way you can have them in your folder and kind of look at the little quote and read it and just remind yourself. Because sometimes it does get tough. Sometimes things happen and you're feeling down, and sometimes we need to remind ourselves that we are smart and that we can do things if we put our mind to it. and that we're strong and resilient, and that you're trusting and that you're caring. That's one trait that you told me, that you love helping people. And that's something that you should be really proud about, right? So
one time my mom got mad at me because I didn't pick up, like I didn't sweep the house, and because I wanted to go outside and play. So she told me, why didn't you sweep? And she's like, and because I went outside to play, I told her, and she's like, you'd never do anything I told you to. And then she and then I swept, and then she told me I didn't sweep right, and then I just, and she like, let me do it, and I'm like, okay. And then when I went to my room, I felt bad, but then I read the poster and I felt better.
Okay, so it's like a little motivation for you when you read stuff like that. That's good. That's good. You see, you're finding some of your own solution to some of the things that you're feeling, like your self-esteem or not feeling that you can do something, right? Okay, so we're going to put this one away. And I have something for you dealing with that. So here are we're going to put your goals on this side. And I put these to cover these out, right? Is this one coming off? I have something for self-esteem. Okay? It's a cute little book that's called Don't Feed the Monster on Tuesday. And look at the monster on there. You see that? Yes? Right there. And it's on self-esteem. Definitely. Okay? And as we're going, maybe we can see if we can relate some of that on there. Right? It reads, it happens every day. Some people look in the mirrors and scream, oh no, my nose is too big, my ears are too big, my eyes are too small, my mouth is too wide. I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I think I look like a nerd. Many children and adults too are picky about the way they look. They don't like other things about themselves either. I don't make high grades in school. I must be dumb. And I'm too shy to talk to people. I guess I'm dumb. My classmates don't like me as much as they do other kids. Something must be wrong with me. My parents scold me, so maybe they don't love me. Sometimes I spill things. I'm just too clumsy. Sometimes I do things I shouldn't. Maybe I'm a bad person. Do you ever feel that way? Yes? In what instances? In what times?
When my mom is mad at me.
Okay, so you can relate to some of this, right? If you ever think such things, you're not alone. All children, both boys and girls, have these thoughts. And adults, both men and women, think them too. Why do we think such things about ourselves? Okay. And we do. It's all young children, adults, we all do. Well, somewhere inside our brains, there is an area that makes us think negative thoughts. Bad thought about ourselves, right? It's as if we had a little green monster inside our heads who is determined to make us feel bad about ourselves. And look at that little monster. He's kind of creepy looking, right? That little monster is really a sly one. He begins his attacks by whispering awful things to us. And as you can see, you're not very good looking. You're not as smart as other kids. You can't run very fast. So he's not a nice one. He starts putting ideas into your head. If we listen to his whispers, the monster's voice becomes louder and louder. And he's yelling, dummy, klutz. If we believe the things the monster tells us, we lose our self-confidence and we become very unhappy. That monster is hungry, hungry, hungry all the time. He wants to take over. Do you ever feel that way? Did you think about negative thoughts? He likes nothing better than to take great big bites out of your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. People who feel good about themselves and like themselves have a strong sense of self-esteem. People who feel bad about themselves and don't like themselves have a weak sense of self-esteem. Do you ever feel that way?
Mm-hmm.
People with strong self-esteem have more confidence in themselves. They make better decisions and they are happy most of the time. And that's what we're trying to see, right? You're recognizing that you need to make those changes and you want to be looking at the positive. Our self-esteem is important in keeping us healthy too. People who have weak self-esteem are frequently sick. But people who have strong self-esteem don't get sick as often. And when they do, they usually get well faster. So where does a person get a strong self-esteem? You can't buy it at the supermarket, and it's not on sale at the shopping mall. You start getting your self-esteem when your mom and dad tell you they love you. You get a little more self-esteem when other people say they like you. And you have a lot of people that like you. You also get self-esteem when you do something well, such as making a good grade at school. Does that look relatable to you? You did because of that smile with your AR and your passing grade, now that you know that you passed. Or winning a race. When you're pleased with yourself, your self-esteem grows and grows and grows. And if you want to keep your self-esteem strong, be sure, don't feed the monster. That monster grew one day at a time, and within yourself, you have the power to make him shrink one day at a time. And there's how you can do just that. Start by choosing one day a week. Let's say Tuesday. Next Tuesday, make a sign that reads, "Don't feed the monster on Tuesdays." Then hang that sign in your room. On Tuesday, all day long, don't feed the monster. Don't let him munch on your self-esteem. And don't listen to whispers. Instead, say only nice things to yourself, like what you have in that poster. That would work, right? When you say nice things to yourself, you'll start feeling better about yourself. Up goes your self-esteem, and down goes the monster. Okay? What did you think of that?
Good.
Pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
You could relate to some of it, right? So we need to think of ourselves with those positive feelings, and that'll motivate us more to do well in school. You know, now you see that you can do it, right? So we want to improve that, Aurora. So I have a little activity for you. And while you're working on it, we can talk about what you're writing down. It's called My Personal Shield. I'm going to put it here for the camera and then you can see it. Okay? This works two ways because we're going to write a little bit on the back and then we're going to write in the front.